Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Patty. I go by Pattymac Makes everywhere online. And in today's video, I want to do a follow-up to something that is very popular on my channel. And in fact, it might be how you found your way here. And that is the video where I first introduced my Norden table, which is an IKEA product. I decided to share my experience using my Norden table in my sewing room. And it is a very popular table for sewing and crafts really around the world. So I've been using this table for almost 2 years, and I wanted to do a follow-up with you today. As I film this, it's March of 2023, and I thought it was a good time to say, well, I've had this for a while. I've been using it a lot. So would I still buy it? The answer is yes, I would still buy it. Some things have changed in the last 2 years since I bought this table, and we'll address that in a little bit. But for now, let me just tell you, I think that the Norden table is a fantastic table for sewing. It's functional, it has a lot of storage. I find it to be incredibly useful, and I would not make videos about it if I didn't think that it was something that would be helpful for you. A lot of us work in really small spaces. We have a challenging space that we have to work with, and so having functionality of our furniture is so important, and that's why a lot of people find their way to IKEA when they're looking for solutions in their sewing room. And let me also tell you before we go any further, I don't make any money on IKEA. They do not have an affiliate program. I have no links. I have no nothing. The only income that I would earn on IKEA is basically whatever YouTube pays me in ad revenue. So when I tell you I like it, it's because I really like it, and I share this information because it's helped a lot of people, and I like to have a channel that's useful and helpful for others, and that's why I continue to talk about IKEA. I'm in a little bit of a different setup than normal, and I'm set up this way so that you can see the table behind me. It's right over here. I have it currently set up with 2 sewing machines, which is generally how I have it set up. I have one sewing machine that I'll do my general sewing, piecing, and that type of stuff on, and then the other machine I have installed my walking foot, and I leave that on at all times because I use it a lot, and that's on my heavy-duty machine. So typically I have both machines on. I'm going back and forth between machines, and I have had no issues whatsoever with that setup, which is a relatively heavy setup. Let me just get through my list. I have 6 items on my list of why I think this is such a great table. First of all, I think it's fabulous for sewing. It's perfect. You can spread it out like I have it here. I have both leaves extended, or you can put both leaves down and it will tuck right up to your wall. So when you need the table space, you have it, and when you don't, you can put it away. It comes with 6 drawers, and the drawers are deep. They're 7 inches deep, and they hold a lot of stuff. So you can get all sorts of supplies tucked away in those drawers. And in fact, I've barely used the drawers because I also have an IKEA Kallax, which you can't really see, but it's over here off camera. We'll talk about that in a different video. But that holds so much of my little bits and bobs that I don't even really fully utilize all of the storage available to me in the Norden, so I'll have to work on that. I'm an older person, and as you get older, your ability to lift and move things on your own, it changes. It's just the way it is. It's reality. And that's okay because I am able to move my IKEA furniture around on my own. And the Norden table, I can set it up and take it down and move it here and move it there all by myself, which is really important. I can be independent, and when I want to set up and when I want to do something, I don't have to ask for help. Now I have set it up with furniture movers, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So there are different ways that you can set your table up to move it, and we'll discuss that as we get further into the video. When you have both leaves extended, like I do now, you have a huge workspace. It's like 60 inches long. That's like 5 feet. That's like 1.5 meters. I'm not good with my metric, so if I got that wrong, I'm sorry, but it's a lot of space. And it's ample room for 2 machines, or if I'm working with one machine, I have all that space to set up a project so I can lay out something. Recently, I did a wall quilt that is a roof on a carpenter star. It's a fairly large block, and I was able to use that empty area of the leaf to lay out the blocks and to plan how I wanted the finished quilt to come together. It was a lot of space, and I was able to take advantage of using that in the project construction. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love that the table is sturdy enough that I can sew on it, and yet I can still maneuver it by myself as I need to. I get asked a lot, is the machine sturdy enough for sewing? And for me, it has been. Now, I have lighter weight machines. I don't have like a huge commercial machine. If I was doing commercial sewing, or if my business was in sewing projects that I was selling, maybe I would want something heavier. I don't know. I can't speak to that because that's not what I do. I make and share educational videos on YouTube, so I'm doing small projects. I sew for my own enjoyment. I sew for gifts for friends and family, and so my setup is more reflective of a home setup, more like a home sewist, which is mostly who is watching this channel. I'm not trying to talk to people who have a professional sewing business that they want to set up in a spare room. That's not what this is about. This is about home sewing and sewing for your family, and quilting for your own pleasure, your own hobbies, that type of thing. So I can tell you, for hobby sewing, I think it's great. To facilitate the setup and takedown of the table and moving it here and moving it there, I do have it set up on particular furniture movers. Now, I'm on a carpeted floor, and so the bottom of my movers is smooth, and that allows the table legs to slide easily over the carpet. If you were on a hardwood surface or a vinyl surface or something like that, you would get different furniture movers. You would want the ones that are like fluffy on the bottom, and then that would easily slide on a smooth surface. So you want to make sure you get the right furniture movers for what you're trying to do and for the type of floor that you have. But for me, I have these particular plastic furniture movers. I have put them under each leg of the table, including the part that swings out with the gate leg. Everything has its own piece under it, and so that really makes moving things around a lot easier. I've had several viewers comment that they have had success putting casters, which are locking wheels, on their tables that they use at home. If that's something you're interested in, you might scroll the comments and try to find where people talked about that. They weren't specific with how they installed those wheels, but a lot of people have commented on them and have had success doing that in their homes. So I would tell you that yes, it can be done, but I haven't done it myself, so I can't talk about how to do it. There was a video I saw where a man showed how to do it, and I believe I shared that in my community tab. I will try to go back and see if I can locate that video again, and I will link it for you below. So if you're interested in putting wheels on your table, that might be something you'd want to look at. I don't like to talk about things that I don't actually do, so I can't speak to it from experience, but several viewers have said they have done it and it worked out great. Okay, let's talk about the price of this table. When I purchased it in 2021, I got it for $199, and I thought that was a lot of money. People started writing in pretty regularly as the video got picked up and it was like served out to a wider audience recently. people were like, oh my gosh, this table is now $349. And I looked at it like a month ago, which would have been February, it was $329. And now it is indeed $349 as of March of 23. I will tell you, it is a lot of money, but I still think it's a good product. And if you're looking for a sewing table and you really need something, I would get it. If you have the money and it's something that you can really use and you need it, I would still recommend it even at that price. And I will tell you, it's not going to get any cheaper. You know, things are very unstable in the world right now. Lots of things are going on overseas. I'm in the United States, so I'm not like at the, the front of where things are going on, but let's just say there's a lot of stuff happening, unfolding, going on. And these things are only going to make everything a lot more expensive. So you're better off now getting what you need. Just get it, put it away, and use it and take care of it so it will last you. When I decided I wanted this table, it was like December of 2020. I had gone through and gotten my Kallax units. I did a customization on those, started using them, and love them. And I was like, okay, I think I want to go ahead and get this Norden table and use that for my sewing. Well, it was out of stock. The supply chains were just absolutely wrecked at the time. They're still not fantastic, but they've improved a lot since then. So due to all of these crazy supply chain issues and things going on, that Norden table was out of stock for a long time. And I've talked with you in other IKEA videos about downloading and installing the IKEA app on your phone. Have something specific you want that's a bigger ticket item. You track it in the app. If it's out of stock, just keep checking. Check every day. Seriously. And when it comes back in, you can do a click and pay, which means you order the piece through the app, you pay for it, and then when you go to the store to get it, you pick it up. So that way you know that it's there. And the click and pay is especially helpful for people who have to travel to an IKEA. A lot of people talk about their nearest store is 3 or 4 hours away, so you would definitely want to do click and pay. You don't want to drive all that way and the last of the piece that you wanted is gone. I'm so sorry about that. The battery died. I had to kind of reset everything and start over. Where was I? Oh yeah, click and pay. Definitely do the click and pay. If you have to drive it all to get your piece, you want to do that. I only live about 45 minutes away, and I still did click and pay because at the time things would come in and they would be gone. It's not as bad now because the inflation is just kicking everybody's behind. So things are staying in stock. But still, if you have to drive, just do yourself a favor. Click and pay, and then you know when you get there, you'll actually have your piece. Anyway, it took 6 months of waiting for the table to come back in, and as soon as it did, I went and got it. And I will tell you, I really wanted the Birch version because it's so pretty, and the top of my island that I use for my work table has that same wood top. I'm standing at it right now even though you can't see it. It's so pretty. The wood is so warm, and it's so pretty with the white furniture. And I just thought, oh well, that'll look gorgeous in the room, but the Birch was not coming back into stock, and I thought, okay, I can gamble, and then the white version is going to sell out, and who knows when it'll come back. I might have to wait another 6 months for my table, so I was like, I'm just going to get the white one, and it's still a pretty table, and I'll just use that. Now that I have it, I'm really glad that I have it, because that, perfectly neutral ground is great for when I'm putting blocks together, mixing colors, doing whatever it is I'm doing. I do like it. And I have heard from more than one viewer who said they have the Birch table. They wish they had gotten the white, which is a melamine surface, because the Birch is so soft, and over years of using it, it's pretty banged up. So it's got dings and scratches and all kinds of things. And they kind of wish they had gone ahead and gotten the white one because it's just easier to keep. And I will tell you, the melamine finish is super easy to keep clean. I love it. My Kallax is in that white finish, and I have a desk and filing cabinet also in the same finish. So basically my office is IKEA. I don't know if you would be interested in seeing my office setup, but I can do that at some point if you are interested. Anyway, I'm very happy with the white finish, and it's just super easy to clean. I have a particular furniture cleaner that I like to use, and I use that with a microfiber cloth. It's fantastic. Everything cleans right up. If you don't like to use a spray-on cleaner, okay, the phone dropped its connection with the camera, so we're starting again. Anyway, long story short, I have come to really like that melamine finish because it's so easy to keep clean, and the table looks just like it did pretty much when I brought it home. So if you're hesitant about the non-wood furniture, don't be. It's fine. It looks good and it holds up well and it's easy to clean. I'm looking at my notes. I made notes so I would cover everything, and I want to get back to the issue on the price. So, and I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't mess anything up. So 21 months ago is when I bought this table, less than 2 years. And so the price has gone from $199 to $349. And this is 75% inflation. So what I would say to you is you could probably expect another price hike by the summer. I don't think things are going down anytime soon. And in fact, I expect them to go way up. And if things go the way they're going overseas and continue deteriorating, there may not be consumer products at all for a while. So I'm big on emergency preparedness, and what I always tell my regular viewers is to make sure that you're stocked and you have everything on hand that you're going to need for a while. And people are like, well, this is just a hobby. Sewing is not important. Well, let me tell you something. Sewing is very important, and you can do repairs and all kinds of stuff. And it's really nice to be able to take a break from the insanity and turn it all off and enjoy your sewing. And if you have taken the time and the care to get the tools and equipment you need, which would include machines and furniture, and you have your supplies on hand, you can just step away from it, if only for an afternoon, and do something enjoyable. And, you know, if we're going to talk about this for a minute, and we are, things could be very scary for small children. And if you have the ability to make them a special pillowcase or a little softy toy or something like that, that's really nice. And that's going to be comforting for them. And I think that's important. So if you want some things and you have a little money put aside, get them now. 21 months have passed, prices are way up, things are going on, and the question that gets asked is, would I still recommend the table? And the answer is yes, resoundingly yes. I love this table, I recommend it to everybody, and I do it because I believe in it so much. I think it's a great product. It has certainly helped me with my sewing. I have talked about this before, and I still think it's really, really important. If you can, carve out a little space for yourself where you can leave your things set up. I have a couple of older videos where I talk about small sewing room setups. I still feel like those are valid videos for you to look at. If you have a space, and even if it's just a corner in a room where you can at least have your machine ready to go, you have your tools and supplies well organized that you can easily access, i.e. you're not having to drag out buckets of stuff out of a closet every time you want to make something. It's really going to facilitate the sewing, you're going to be more excited about sewing, and you're going to get more done. So if having this table that lets you set up and take down helps you to be more excited about your sewing and ready to go, it's worth it just for that. You know, as the things in our world shift and change, I think it's going to be really important to have hobbies to help you stay grounded, to take your mind off of things, and to have a little bit of a creative outlet. It's going to be really important. So don't discount the importance in having a space and making time for your hobbies. So I hope this video answers some questions for you. I thought it was important that I do an update to that original Norden table video because it's getting a lot of views again, and I wanted to speak to everyone about why I still love it, why I would still recommend it, and why I still think it's such a great table. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and until I see you next time, happy sewing, my friends.